You're listening to Sip and Grow the podcast, the show where we taste awesome, delicious wines while having unfiltered conversations about our passions, experiences, struggles, entrepreneurship, and life. My name is Nicole DiPasquale, and I'm a wine enthusiast just trying to pursue her passions and dreams while taking you on the journey with me, one episode at a time. My ultimate goal is to not only bring you wine knowledge and value, but also inspire you to enjoy your process and journey in pursuing your passions and dreams. Because guess what? The person you become while enduring the process is more important. So sit back, grab a glass, and let's sip and grow together. Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sip and Grow the podcast with me, your host, Nicole DiPasquale. So today I have another red blend from Mendoza, Argentina. This one specifically is, it's like an organic, it's made with organic grapes and it has a vegan certification. I liked it because of the label, I'm not gonna lie. I did a project on Gaia in high school way back when. With Emmy. Shout out to Emmy if you're still out there. It was an awesome project. We literally dressed her up as the earth goddess because Gaia in Greek mythology is considered the earth goddess. So funny enough, the reason why they named this line of wine Gaia is after the earth goddess or Mother Nature, because it's basically getting the best out of Mother Nature into this bottle of wine. So this is a line of wine from the producer called Domaine Bousquet, which I did an episode on this producer at the beginning of my podcast. I don't remember what episode number it is, but I'll find it and let you guys know. But basically this is a 2020 vintage red blend made up of 50% Malbec grapes, 45% Syrah, and 5% Cabernet Sauvignon. And I'm excited to try this one just because it basically follows all the practices that I personally love, which is sustainable farming, low intervention. They are also considered vegan. This one's also considered a vegan wine, which I actually had the conversation with my yoga studio the other day because they have their own wine podcast. Body for Yoga, best yoga studio in Miami Lakes. Follow them on Instagram, but they have wine talks on Thursday, both the owners, so it's Olga and Diana, and they basically on one of their episodes shouted me out and asked what makes a wine vegan, and basically what makes a wine vegan is that no animal products were used in the process. So one of the most common things that can make a wine not vegan is that the fining agents used in the final process before bottling in the wine. So like sometimes right before bottling a wine, they might see that there's a lot of particles or sediments still within the wine. So they need to break those particles down so that when you pour out the wine, you don't have a bunch of like sediments at the bottom or particles at the bottom, because it just doesn't look pleasant or it's not appealing to the eye, right? So they'll put fining agents in the wine to kind of break those particles down and basically make them disappear. And some of those fining agents aren't vegan based. They're basically made up of, they might have like animal products that make them up. So like a popular one would be that eggs or a protein called casein, which casein is derived from milk. So that's more or less what would make a wine not vegan, is because of that. But for the most part, this one is vegan. So if you're vegan, this is a vegan friendly option. I actually got this at the Argentinian bakery Milano's in Tamarack, Florida, and it cost me $15.99. And I was looking online, and this actually ranges from $17 to like $20 something. So I got it for a good price. honestly, low key, that place is like a plug for Argentinian wines because they have really good prices. So if you're in Florida and you want to take a drive to Tamarack, highly recommend because they have really good prices and really cool different wines that you don't find everywhere from Argentina. So I'm really excited to try this one. And my inspiration for today's episode is actually this book I finished reading called The Last Lecture, which I spoke about it in another episode, but The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch. So I literally finished this last night, and it had me in tears. It had me in tears. I'm gonna tell you why it had me in tears. So if you don't know about the book is basically like a final lecture that this professor, so Randy Pausch was a computer science professor at the Carnegie Hall University in Pittsburg, Pennsylvania. And he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, which he had only like 3 to 6 months to live. And he had accomplished so much in his career. Ooh. Yo, the wind is winding. Well, the show must go on. The show must go on. That is a first in the podcast. Okay. Are we going to behave, wind? Can we be calm? Honestly, can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that like the glass didn't break? The glass didn't break. Nothing broke. We're still here. We're still vibing. We're still having a good time. Oh, that is hilarious. Anyways, so going back to this Randy Pausch story, he basically had 3 to 6 months to live, and he was a computer science professor at this college or university in Pittsburgh. And he basically wanted to give one last lecture before he left the earth, pass away, however you want to call it, to kind of just leave something for his students, his peers, anybody and everybody to kind of just like learn through his accomplishments and successes and his like failures as well, because he talks about a little bit about everything. And he also, so he had a wife that he had been married to for 8 years, and they had 3 kids. So at the time he was diagnosed, he had a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and an 18-month year old, which he talks about in the book how, you know, a lot of the things that he wrote was basically also for his kids. And the way he ended the book, oh my God, it was just, it made me emotional that I cried. So one of the things he said was just, it really touched my heart because he, and I wrote it down so that I don't like butcher it, but basically what he said is, it's not about how to achieve your dreams. Well, before I say this, his whole lecture was basically about childhood dreams. So he created this last lecture that he gave to his students, peers, family members, whoever showed up. He basically created this last lecture as his like legacy, to kind of just give advice to everybody about how he accomplished everything, and like the advice he gives to others to like accomplish their childhood dreams, right? So the way he ended it was basically saying like, you guys all thought that this whole lecture was about me telling you how to accomplish your childhood dreams. But this is what he said. He's like, it's not about how to achieve your dreams. It's about how to lead your life. If you lead your life the right way, the karma will take care of itself. The dreams will come to you. And I was just like, that's when I started crying. Well, I started crying too because he was like talking about his wife and kids and whatever. But basically, one thing that really resonated with me or stuck with me was like, you can literally accomplish all your dreams by the way you lead your life. So like, I think the way to lead your life would be kind of just like authentically living to yourself, being self-aware, right? Committing to your goals, which ultimately, if you commit to your goals, it's because you have a commitment to yourself. And when you commit to yourself, you're, your best self, and essentially like you're attracting in all these good things to happen to you. Because I do feel like the law of attraction goes hand in hand with this, but like ultimately the way to lead your life the right way is to, set your goals, go after them, hard work, commit to yourself, because when you commit to yourself, you ultimately unlock the best version of yourself to be able to do big and great things. Having self-awareness is always important, because if you understand where you are, you can understand how you can get to where you need to be. I also think it's important to look for the good in everything and in everyone, because I truly do think that there's good in everyone, and it's just a matter of having patience to see the good in everything and everyone. And not a lot of people have patience, but patience is important. I also think it's really important to set your goals, but also don't be afraid to adjust them, because as you evolve and grow, your goals can change. Like, you might have to adjust your goals once you've learned or grown from where you were a year ago, and that's okay. Like, a lot of people think that like once you set your goals, like you have to accomplish them, and like I think it's the opposite, right? Like, you set your goals, right, and then a year passes and maybe you accomplish 5 of the 10 that you wanted to accomplish, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, I'm at a different space right now, and like I did want to accomplish these other 5, but right now I think through what I've learned and how I've evolved and grown, I don't really want to accomplish those anymore. And that's okay. Like, giving yourself grace is so important. And like once you give yourself grace and adjust your goals to meet you where you're at that moment, is when it's going to be a game changer, because then you're going to be constantly learning and growing and evolving, and it's actually going to lead you to an even better place than you ever thought. So I loved that quote that he said in the book, and I will forever have it in my notes section, which I do. So when I'm feeling down or low, I will go to that notes section and just remind myself, to lead my life in the right way so that my dreams come to me, because ultimately I'm trying to attract in what I want out of this life. And I feel like anything is really possible as long as like you follow that and live by that. So if you guys are into reading, highly recommend this book. There's literally no one, this is not a commercial, it's just literally one of my favorite books that I read this year, The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch. It will motivate you to do the things that you want to do. And yeah, let's get to the important stuff, aka the adult juice, aka the wine. All right, let's pour this up. Ooh, it has a nice deep purple color. Let's see, let's check it out. You guys, I'm still in shock that my whole light just fell during the podcast. That was amazing. I can't make this up. This just happens. This is great. Ooh. I'm already smelling like vanilla, leather and pepper smells. Like, it doesn't smell like, it's made up mostly of Malbec, but it smells like a typical Syrah. So it has that like peppery, leathery smell to it, which usually I get when I open a Syrah. So it's gonna be interesting. Let's go ahead and try it. There's a bug in my wine. There's a bug in my wine. Hold please. Intermission. I wish I had intermission music. I'm not gonna sing for you guys. That is a hard no, a hard pass. But we're just gonna get this bug out of here. He's out. All right, we're back. We're back. Let's try to taste this once again. So it's highly tannic. Like the tannins are very present to where it sits and lingers in your tongue and then it goes down. So like it's kind of harsher on the palate, but I kind of really enjoy this. It has, you can definitely taste like oak, like that it's been sitting in an oak barrel for, 10, 12 months, which I don't know how long. Does it say here? Oh, it says it was in French oak for 8 months. It's definitely full bodied. I'm getting like plum notes, vanilla for sure, pepper for sure. And almost like a hint of like, just like red, I would say red fruit notes, like dark red fruit notes, with leather peppery feel to it. And it's high on the tannins, so it's like it sits on your tongue and it's dry, and then it's like harsh on the way down. But if you like a good Chianti Classico or like harsher wines that are highly tannic, definitely get yourself this bad boy, because I think overall for the price point, it's $16. I think it's a solid wine, and the fact that it's vegan and sustainably grown, low intervention, we love that. We love a low intervention baddie. And I would say my rating for this one would probably be 8.8 out of 10. I think it's solid, for what it like, for the blend that it is, and I think it's a great price point. Go ahead and try it. Tell me what you think. Let me know if you guys like it. If you don't, I will definitely go ahead and try to find a link online for you guys to buy it. If not, like I said, Milano's in Tamarack, Florida, they have it. It's $16. It's probably going to be more expensive in the link that I find online, but hey, sometimes you got to pay a higher price, and that's okay. That's okay. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and remember, lead your life the right way and your dreams will come to you. Cheers.